What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. I can finally recap this Phillies game after watching the Brewers and the Marlins game. The Phillies, it was probably obvious they were not going to split the series to the Washington Nationals. They win the final game. They get the Patrick Corbin. And also, the offense showed up once again. JT Realmuto with a home run. Bryson, Stott, Kyle Schwarber, both with 3 RBIs in this game. And Zack Wheeler basically just did his thing and shut down the Nationals. And then we knew they were going to try to get the game in, with the rain. It was raining basically the entire game. You get to that 7th inning, they put the tarp on. It took a little longer than anticipated for, them to call the game. But they finally did call the game, and the Phillies get that win. So they improved the record to 86 and 73. And with the win, they moved the magic number down to 2. But now, watching the Marlins and the Brewers, Marlins go up 2-0 in the game. Brewers eventually make it 2-1. Bottom of the 9th inning, Brewers tie it up. Go to extras. 10th inning, Marlins take the lead. Brewers tied in the bottom of the 10th. Marlins can't score in the 11th. Brewers get bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th. They can't score. And then top of the 12th, Miguel Rojas, who was the Phillies killer, probably saved the Phillies season, gives the Marlins the go-ahead run. And then the Brewers cannot score in the bottom of the 12th to lose that game. So now the magic number for the Phillies is down to 1. They only need one more win and or one more Brewers loss to clinch the final wild card spot. Well, the wild card berth in the National League. Well, that will be either a win against the Houston Astros in this coming week series, or one of the Brewers losses to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Brewers stink. My God. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th, and they didn't score. Whew. But the Phillies, and they could have clinched today if they didn't lose the first game of the doubleheader. And I'm going to always harp back to the negative on that point, but you did win the series against the Nationals, which was the most important thing. But still, with yourself stabbing yourself in the foot, getting swept by the Cubs and all that crap, it prevented you from being clinched earlier. But still, it's one more game to go. I guarantee the Brewers are not going to sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks after losing a 3 out of 4 game series to the Miami Marlins. And also the Diamondbacks are pitching 2 of their better pitchers in this series in Zack Gallen and Merrill Kelly. So it's going to be really tough for the Brewers offense to, these games. So Phillies, one more win. If you win tomorrow against Houston, Aaron Nola needs to pitch the game of his life if you want to try to win the clinch. Or you can also rely on the Brewers losing. But I would like to see a win to get into the playoffs at least. But overall, like I said, offense showed up in these final 2 games of this series. They got the Patrick Corbin, which was obvious. And Zack Wheeler, looking good in his, starts since returning. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, 77 pitches. He's looked really sharp. And obviously, they were going to take him out earlier in the game just because, how much it was raining. They didn't want to risk any injury with him being up on the mound or anything like that. So, it's basically it there. Zack Wheeler dominates. The offense does their thing. If we go through this game, just to look at how everything happened, Bryson, Stott managed to get a RBI on a fielder's choice in the top of the 2nd inning to make it a 1-0 Phillies lead. Then the Phillies basically broke it open in the top of the 4th inning. Segura with a single, Matt Vierling with a double, and Bryson Stott with a deep double to right field. Scores 2 runs, makes it 3-0. Then Rhys Harper gets a 2-out single. Well, actually a 2-out single to make it a 4-0 Phillies lead there. Phillies add on in the top of the 5th. They get the bases loaded. Alec Bohm doubles. Gene Segura walks. Bryson Stott reaches it on an infield single. I have no idea why Patrick Corbin tried to play that ball because it would have gone foul if he didn't. And then Kyle Schwarber singles through the shift, clears the bases, makes it a 7-0 Phillies lead. JT Realmuto then goes opposite field shot the very next inning in the 6th to make it 8-0. The Marlins did get a run against Andrew Bellotti in the bottom of the 6th, and you kind of saw, Rob Thompson, you're like, hey, why isn't the tarp on the field? This game is official. Just end the game already. There's no need to risk injuries for everyone. So Nationals get that run. 8-1 ball game. Top of the 7th inning. That's when the tarp comes on. And that's basically, you wait a couple of hours. I think the umpires were really waiting for, what would happen between the Marlins and the Brewers. I think they were just waiting for that game to end in the 9th inning. It didn't. And they officially called the game when it went into extras. So Phillies get the win there. Brewers lose. So you get the magic number down twice to 1. So now you only need one more win or one more Brewers loss to clinch the final postseason spot in the National League. And also with the Brewers loss, the Padres clinch a postseason berth as well. So there's only one more playoff spot in the entire, entirety of Major League Baseball. And that could be the Phillies spot come tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it decides to happen. If the Phillies win tomorrow, if the Brewers lose tomorrow, so maybe we could see a Phillies clinched postseason berth by tomorrow. So we'll definitely have to wait and see everything like there. And I like what the Marlins did basically the entirety of this series with the Brewers. With this game, they have they did in Avengers Endgame when Thanos has Thor pinned down, and then Captain America comes up with the hammer, and he beats up Thanos like out of surprise. You're like, oh, Captain American can hold Thor's hammer. We're like, that's basically what they did. Like their Brewers were Thanos pinning down the Phillies, which was Thor, and then the Marlins were Captain America holding the hammer, which was kind of really funny. I would say that's A+ social mediating right there. So that's a really funny thing there. So yeah, you got the job done. That's basically the most important thing. Kind of wish you didn't lose the one games of the doubleheader, but doubleheaders, I guess, against regardless any team, they're hard to sweep. So you took care of business in Washington, which was expected. They weren't going to lose a series to the Washington Nationals, regardless of how bad they were playing this entire week. But the offense does look, better. So yeah. Did the game end? Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. The tarp came on in the 7th inning. Umpires waited like an hour or two, then they called the game, and the Brewers also lost an extra innings to the Marlins. So magic number is 1, Victor. Magic number is 1. Mr. W says he is stoked. We're talking about the fight. Milwaukee collapsed bad, lost 11 games since August 9th, or lost 11 games in August since the All-Star break. This is over. Yeah, I think the Phillies eventually make it. Do they want the 5 or the 6 seed? Oh, that waits to see. If we're looking at the standings right now, how many games are the Phillies behind the Padres? Let's see. Phillies technically right now we're at a game and a half behind the Padres, but I think the Padres are playing the White Sox currently. So if I look at that, yeah, they're losing right now in the 8th to the White Sox. So if the Padres were to lose that game, it would go down to, a game above the Phillies for the second wild card spot. So it's still wait and see. At this point, I don't care what spot the Phillies get. Just make the playoffs to end the drought. That's all I'm asking for at this point. Make the playoffs end the drought. That's all I'm asking for. Crazy stat, we're 70-70 against the rest of the league. The rest of the wins are against the Nationals. Huh? They took advantage of the Nationals being terrible. So I guess so. We are pacing ourselves. Hopefully we win the first game in Houston and pop the corks. Hopefully. Yeah, that's what I want. Either you win tomorrow or the Brewers lose. Just try to get the playoffs clinched by tomorrow so you don't have to worry about it dragging on to the rest of the week. Try to get a win in Houston. And I think, with the series in Houston tomorrow, I think Nola is on the mound, so that might be your best chance to do it. I know you also have Ranger Suarez and Bailey Falter in the next 2 games as well. But you got Nola up against Lance McCullers. In the first game, Lance McCullers this year is 4-1 with a 2.38 ERA. He's been really good for the Astros. But in his last 4 games, he's only given up 2 earned runs in each of those games. So you got to find a way to score. Offense, hopefully, in these 2 games woke up a little bit. Definitely need that going into the series against Houston because you're facing Lance McCullers, Justin Verlander, and Framber Valdez. So the top 3 basically of the Houston Astros pitching staff, you're going against them this week. And then you got Nola, Suarez, and Falter this week. So you need to find a way to get a win in this series. Maybe the Astros don't try as hard just because, they know they're in the postseason, but still. They're playing their starters. They're going to try, do everything they can to beat you. You got to go out there and at least get one win. That's all you need to do. 1 win. Or Brewers loss. Because like I said, I'm guaranteeing you the Brewers are not going to sweep the Diamondbacks. That is not going to happen. Just not. The Brewers' offense is anemic, and the Diamondbacks are throwing out their 2 best starters. So we got to wait and see what happens. Well, a lot of talent on the Phillies with a mix of veterans and young players. Veterans are probably pumping up the young players in these games. I hope that's something, hopefully. Well, the pitching is set up for the playoffs. Oh, yeah, the pitching is definitely set up for the playoffs, definitely, with Zack Wheeler going today and Nola pitching tomorrow. Because if they were to make the playoffs, Zack Wheeler would probably pitch game 1 and Nola would pitch game 2. That's the way they're trying to set it up. Yeah, nice day. It's a nice day overall. Eagles go 4-0, and you win. Phillies get the magic number 1. Hello, Soto. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. So, yeah. overall, not much to talk about. You got the win. Your offense chipped in. It was expected against Patrick Corbin. You get the magic number there. But man, the Brewers. The Brewers had so many chances to, like, blowing yesterday's game and then, not being able to win in extras today. I feel like the Phillies are probably going to clinch it tomorrow. They probably are. So, yeah, I think that's where we stand at this point. This is probably going to be more of a quick hitter than anything. It was really just, recapping the games. Really not much, besides the offensively. It was Phillies offense dominating and Zack Wheeler being himself. So, yeah. MLB is probably getting a lot better TV ratings with the change to the postseason wild card this year. Love to see. Yeah, they're definitely, that's one of the main reasons why they added another wild card team. Just, add to the viewing and everything, and ratings. Ratings are actually really helpful. So, yeah, still not going to guarantee anything right now. Right now, you need one more win or a Brewers loss. That's basically all that stands in your way. I would like for you to get that clinched tomorrow, but we still have to wait and see. Definitely. Scared, man, even though it's just one win or one Brewers loss, I feel like the script has something in store for us. Well, that would be classic Phillies to, drag it out to the final day. So, never know. It's down to one game. If your Phillies win tomorrow and the Brewers lose, we make the playoffs in the first round. We'll begin against the Cardinals. Well, it also does depend if the Phillies end up in the second wild card spot too, but most likely if the Phillies do clinch the playoffs, they'll most likely play the Cardinals. So basically, like I said, it's a wait and see process at this point. So this was going to be more of a quick hitter than anything, guys. Really just a short recap of the game and basically everything like that. So we'll wait for tomorrow, see what happens with the game with the Phillies and the Astros. And the Brewers, I believe they play tomorrow as well. What time do they play at the same time tomorrow? Phillies are at 8:10. The Brewers and the Diamondbacks, they're at 7:40. So they start a half hour before the Phillies. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? So thank you for joining this second version of the stream, everyone. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lines BrodesMedia. I recommend all of that. Same thing with hitting the subscribe button and also using the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. It can go towards anything on SeatGeek, concerts, sporting events. A great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you again for joining tonight's stream, and I'll see you guys next time.